Welcome to Cedar Club, Quincy's favorite local bar. A friendly corner bar with a laid-back atmosphere and affordable drinks. It's the perfect spot for a great time. With entertainment galore, including shuffleboard, golden tee, pool, foosball, and winning gaming machines. Cedar Club's latest edition is the best spot to catch your favorite game. Great drinks, great friends, and great times. Cedar Club, 20th and Cedar in Quincy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Elise Blue with the NEMO Humane Society. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being here. So NEMO, Northeast Missouri.
Humane Society.
Humane Society.
Yes, ma'am.
Based out of Hannibal, Missouri.
Yes, ma'am.
So our neighbor. Welcome. I know a Humane Society. Okay.
Yes.
We love them. They're dear to our community. You do a
Yes.
lot for different communities, but of course our lovely animals. So give me just a high level idea of what you do for Hannibal and Northeast Missouri. How many counties do you cover?
It'd be fantastic. Yes. We cover around 5 counties.
Okay.
In Northeast Missouri. We go and provide services such as a free food bank so you can keep your animals at home. We low-cost vaccine clinic. We assist in spay-neuter assistance,
Okay.
so that you only have to pay for half the spay or neuter.
Okay.
And because our goal, all out, and the whole thing is our goal is pet retention rather than pet surrender.
Right.
So that's a way to keep animals out of. We want to put ourselves out of a job, basically.
Sure, right. That's the ultimate goal, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 100%. So low-cost spay and neuter, that is key, right?
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
I don't know about Hannibal, but in Quincy, we seem to have a feral cat problem, right? They're everywhere.
Yeah, they are.
And some people feed them, some people love them, some people hate them.
Exactly.
Right?
So we found a few ways to deal with the feral cat program in Hannibal. We work with our city animal control officers, and we run what's called a TNVR program. I had to get all the letters right in my head. And what that means, it's trap, neuter, or spay, vaccinate, and release.
Okay.
So what we'll do is people, if they have a feral colony at their property, and they would rather not have more kittens, but they don't mind the cats.
Sure.
So what we'll do is we'll bring them in, and then we will pay for 100% for the spay or neuter vaccination, and then the animal control officer will re-release it back into that feral cat colony.
Okay.
There will be no more kittens, but they will still have the opportunity to be able to have mousers and stuff around.
Sure, yeah.
Now, the other thing we do, if they will not let us re-release them out back to the community, we will still get them trapped. We will try, if they are possible, to get them spayed or neutered. And then what we do is we have a barn cat program that if you would have a barn or a building or a factory that has a rodent problem, you have to take 2, but for $25, you can take 2 animals with you, or 2 cats with you.
Perfect.
And they can just take care of your rodent problem, or if you just want some company there with you, but they're kind of standoffish, but they want to live outside or free roam.
Yes. You know, I heard Disney World does that. They have like a bunch of feral cats that
Yes.
come in and take care of it. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if our Humane Society does that, but it sounds like it's a no-brainer, right?
It is. It's
Yeah.
a no-brainer at low cost. You know, of course, we're not recouping all the money. We're getting something for it.
Sure.
But we still get the community to be able to appreciate what we've done and appreciate what they can have.
Right.
And take care of
less
problems.
cats.
And 2 less cats.
Care. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is, of course, the goal. Like you said, you want to put yourself out of a job. So not only do you, help with people who already have these pets, such as the pet food, the spay and neuter, but you, of course, connect the people with the animals, for their forever homes, right?
Yes. I have an awesome staff, and they are very good at matching animals. Like if somebody comes in and they say, "Oh, I want to meet this pet." Well, okay, no problem. We can meet this pet. And sometimes it's a little too rambunctious or stuff. They're like,
Sure.
"Why don't we try this one instead?" And normally 95% of the time they get them matched right up.
Yeah, they're matchmakers.
Yeah, they are. They know the animal and they know what kind of living situation would be best for them to make sure both family and animal will be happy.
Yeah, excellent. So about how many animals are you serving, or people? I guess I don't know how you calculate it. How do you calculate that?
We calculate what's comes in your door.
Okay.
We get close to 2,000 a year. We have a new facility. Well, we call it a new facility, but in August will be the beginning of our 4th year
Still relatively new. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so we have all these animals coming in, and we get them out, either match them up with families, or we also have a program that really helps our dogs get adopted called the Puppies for Parole program.
Okay.
And they actually go down to the Northeast Correctional Center in Bowling Green. They have a team of dog trainers down there that are incarcerated. It's a privilege to be a part of this program.
Yeah.
And so the dogs
saw this.
Yeah, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
The dogs come back. Trained, not litter trained, sorry, those are cats, I know. Crate trained, lead trained. And then this group that's down there now is teaching them neat tricks. This last dog came back. One of them, you can learn how to play dead, or it knows how to do all kinds of tricks.
Yeah.
They come back with a folder and all the information on with the dog that they learned. And the dogs are actually staying with the prisoner 24/7.
Cool.
So they're learning everything firsthand. And then they have a graduation. What's awesome about this program is we have basically 100% adoption rate out of it.
Yeah, how cool.
So they normally never actually come back to our shelter. They get picked up at graduation.
Very cool. What a cool partnership.
It really is. It really is.
Y'all are doing some great things, of course, some innovative stuff, and it's necessary because it never ends, right?
No, it never ends because they just keep coming in.
Yes, right. So all of the events that you have are geared towards, like you said, sustaining, your pet ownership and not surrendering.
Right.
So you have, of course, a spay neuter, and you have an event coming up pretty quick, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
It's officially being announced today.
Woohoo!
Woo! Because
we're exclusive here, folks.
Yeah. Everybody always is calling to see when our next one of these is.
Right.
On July 12th, I believe that's a Saturday.
Okay.
If it's not, it's the 14th, but I'm sure it's the 12th. We're having our low-cost vaccine clinic.
Okay.
And what that will entail is for $15 per animal, animals will get their rabies shots, and then if it's a dog, their 5-way, or the cat, the 3-way shots, and be taken care of, and they won't have a vet visit. It'll just cost $15.
Okay. Doable.
Very doable.
Very doable.
Also at this event, we will be doing low-cost microchipping.
Okay.
We're going to do that for $15 as well. So you're welcome to come in. We can get you microchipped, get you registered, and you'll be done. And it's a lifetime chip. You never have to re-register it again.
Okay.
It always travels with you. You don't have to change a thing. A lot of chips you have to re-register every year.
Sure.
But we take care of the registration so it gets registered to begin with.
Okay. And this is at your facility?
It is at our facility. Okay. It'll be from 8 to 12 in the morning, or 8 in the morning until 12 noon.
Okay.
And if you watch our Facebook page, we'll have a link to be able to start signing up.
Okay. So all kinds of good stuff. I just noticed you've given away over 15,000 pounds of food to the community.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, yeah, with the help of Chewy, we which is an amazing organization, but we, instead of coming in to get food, to get little bags or something like that, we give away full 40-pound bags. Yeah. And so you get to come 4 times a year. Normally that one bag should last you the 3 months, if possible. It's to help give you a little boost when things are lean.
Yeah.
And we're here to help anybody who needs the help because, man, you need to keep your animal fed, but you need to keep yourself fed too.
Right.
So
yes.
we're here to help that part.
Yes.
So
sometimes
you can keep the family going. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. And then one more cool thing you're doing amongst a host of other things is the daycare. So you have a daycare that it's like you're providing daycare for these pets, right?
Well, no, these are for like kids.
Oh.
We have Salem Baptist Daycare. Yeah, it's a daycare thing that way.
Okay.
And so what we do, it's a kids program that every other Wednesday during the entire summer, Salem Baptist Daycare comes in, and they come for about 2 hours, and we do a different program for them each day.
Okay.
Each time they come to visit, and they learn different things. Like they could learn how to take care of a dog. So we'll have a stuffed dog, and they'll learn all the stuff like the bathing, the grooming, the cleaning up after, but we make it fun.
Yeah. Well, don't make it too fun because I feel like kids are like, oh yeah, I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Make sure they know what's really entailed, right?
Yeah,
for sure. Well, that's really cool. I didn't realize it was that kind of a daycare,
yes,
but
ma'am.
even better. How cool. Yeah. Then you're combining pets and kids, which is awesome. And then the last thing I want to talk about is rehoming, which I think this program is another example of innovative, innovation.
Yeah, this is something we've been working on for quite some time, and we're lucky enough that we have somebody who's taken the lead on it. And we're going to have a rehoming site on our actual website.
Okay.
So for a nominal fee of $10, you submit all your information of your pet, all the pictures you want to put up, and then we will actually, on our website, have it set up so you can see all these animals that are ready to be rehomed.
Yeah.
And then that way, families do not have to surrender their animals at this time, and if they can hang on to them for a while, and they can just rehome them through our page. It's one less animal comes into us, but one more animal that finds a new home.
Right.
This is not set up though for breeders and such like that, so everybody will be vetted.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So, but it's another way to keep animals out of the shelter, but still being able to find a new home for them.
Yeah, connect those homes with those fur babies. I love it.
Thank you.
Elise, you're doing great things. Keep it up. Come back and talk to me anytime.
I would love to.
Yeah, you guys.
This is great.
Well, maybe we can do an on-site visit because that sounds fun too.
We can do that. Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
I've got 15 puppies out there right now.
Oh, goodness.
We can just let them run around.
Adult daycare.
Yeah, we could.
Right? Yeah. Elise, thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Coming up next, Brittany and Ash C and Coffee Talk. Stay tuned.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Welcome out to Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer and it feels so right. I'll meet you out on Broadway underneath Shamrock Light. We're gonna have a good time on the patio tonight. There's a party down at Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer on a champagne night. We're feeling all alone and you got no place to go. So come down here and drink a beer on Kelly's patio. Kelly's a fun place to eat and drink. 2902 Broadway.
And welcome back. Now it's time for
Coffee Talk
with Ash C and Britt B. Thanks to EFB, we get to spill the tea or coffee, whatever you prefer. Speaking of what you prefer, I feel like everybody takes a side on things, and what we're talking about today is no different. Let's talk about hashtag
street racing.
So
I shouldn't laugh about that, but it is. I was like, I don't know what to hashtag this behavior. Mm-hmm. And I think at first, when it was presented at the council or something like that, somebody called it street racing. And
I call them burnouts, but then I'm like, that has multiple meanings.
And people got like really upset. Also, they're like, that's not street racing. And I'm like,
parking lot racing, parking lot burnouts, whatever it is.
But they're cracking down on them.
Yeah.
And I liked what Chief Yates had to say about it in regards to, quality of life in Quincy.
Yeah.
It does, like, no matter how you're looking at this, whether it's just kids being kids, which there are a lot of comments like that, and I'm like, this is not kids. These are not kids for the most part. They might be young people, but they're not kids. They are young adults, and we should treat them like young adults.
Sure.
Or this is why our community standards or people are declining because we're not holding them accountable.
Sure.
And this starts in the home with parents sometimes. But that's a different story.
I think the pack mentality is happening here. It's like, oh, I'm going to go with this group. And then you just kind of do it because it's the cool thing to do. I could be wrong. But originally when I read this, I was like, I was kind of in the camp of, oh, yeah, I never was a parking lot lizard or whatever you call them.
Is that what you call them?
I don't know. People that hung out in parking lots. I never got into that, but I know a lot of people who did. And although they weren't really doing anything, they were kind of considered a nuisance with loud music, and maybe they were smoking a little.
It's loitering too.
Yeah, loitering, taking up parking spaces, blah, 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 blah. And I don't think those people ever really saw anything wrong with it because they didn't think they were doing harm.
Yeah, where are those people now?
I know a few of them. They've done quite well, so I don't want to knock them all. But I think when I thought, oh, they are just kids or young adults doing something, and at least they're not out, clobbering mailboxes with blah, blah, blah. But then I started thinking, if they were doing it in a parking lot across from my house at all hours of the night, I would be pissed.
And there are parking lots across from your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and that's essentially where a lot of these are happening, are parking lots that are already owned by people.
Right.
So it is strange, the defense that comes behind it. I want to read some of these.
Yeah.
How about setting up public events for car meets with police and ambulance services available so young people have something to do other than drugs and crime? They also said, quit being a bunch of effing assholes, but we'll leave that part out.
We'll
include it in.
Whatever.
Okay,
anyway,
but that mentality.
Way to be in the know about what we do in Quincy, right?
What do you mean? I think that is
as far as the events.
Yeah, I think that it's a great idea. It's already happening. Mm-hmm. So we have, a public event where people can go out and enjoy in their food trucks. One of the other one that played on that was, why not delegate a space for these activities? Set up some food vendors and enjoy a day of cars. Plenty of empty lots in this town. Instead, it's about, trying to see something. I don't know. But that sentiment.
What's it called, Brittany?
Hi, we have the Quincy Raceways where you can go out there every Sunday and they race in a safe environment. And then the big one is there is an event. It's called the Quincy Grand Prix, and it's going on June 28th.
And I think anybody can sign up for that, and you can rent a go-kart, right? I think you can get a go-kart from somewhere if you don't have one.
I think so.
Yeah.
They'll help you. But my thing is it exists. It's legal this way. It's licensed. To think that you could just throw these kids in a parking lot and delegate them space without proper licensing is beyond me.
And
this
insurance.
Is dangerous.
What happens if someone gets hurt? Let's say they're doing it down by the river and
they're doing donuts and somebody flies out of the car.
Or they hit someone, God forbid. What happens?
I don't know, but I think that this mentality might change a little bit and people wouldn't be like, man, these police are cracking down on these kids when they should be providing them something to do. That's not the police's responsibility to find something to do. There are plenty of things for you to do.
Yeah.
Besides burnouts in the parking lot.
Yeah, and I liked Chief Yates's response of, if you think that this is the first and last time that, we're going to have to crack down, you're being naive, which I think he's totally right. And writing a ticket is one step. I have a couple other ideas. We'll get to that in just a minute. But as far as the events, of course, people are going to take one side or the other. But I think there are some people, of course, I want these kids to have something to do, or young adults, whatever, that they enjoy. Does that mean that it needs to come at the cost of public safety or, the fact that we can have a nuisance-free city, right? I mean, it is a nuisance. And
also,
I don't want to sound like old, old
give me,
Biddy Ashley here, like get off my lawn, but come on. You don't
will.
Just get to do whatever you want to do without consequence. Yeah.
Also, with all these suggestions of there are so many open parking lots, give me the open parking lot. Do you not realize that is probably owned by somebody? That's somebody's land. They don't need to just, because you want to do burnouts, be like, okay, this will be the designated spot or something. I mean, that is we'll be talking to Jeff Scott later this week on Club Muddy. That is a lot of liability insurance that he has to hold. He dots his I's, he crosses his T's, he does it the right way. So that's also taking away from people that do it the right way.
Right.
If you're just saying, let it happen.
Let it happen. Yeah, if you're in the camp that says just let it happen, then I encourage you to build your parking lot and to allow these folks to come onto your parking lot and do all this. And then nobody else will bitch, right? But make sure it's right by your window so that you can hear it fully, because I want you to be able to appreciate it 100%. Now,
I love that.
So back to the punishment. If you're getting fines, but you're a part of this pack mentality and you're like, screw it, you may pay it and say whatever and do it again, right? Or you may not pay it, and what's going to happen, who knows? Here's what I think you should have to do. Okay, first offense, I do think you should get a fine because it is against the law, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You should also have to put a large student driver sticker on the back of your car, and it should span the entire thing so that you're publicly shamed, okay? And I'm not shaming student drivers because I know you're learning, but these folks seem to think they have it all figured out. So that'd be first offense. Second offense, I think you should get a slightly larger fine, and you should have to deliver Meals on Wheels for a certain amount of time because you like to drive. I think you should put it to good use. Third offense, I think you should get a larger fine, and you should have to volunteer your time helping all of our pothole efforts in this town by volunteering your time to fill in potholes or repair
I love
pavement
these solutions.
for the city of Quincy. And that is purely volunteer hours and something that maybe we could all get behind because, yeah, you would be helping out taxpayers and our city.
I love these solutions.
Right?
Way to go.
See, I'm like, there has to be clever punishment to fit these clever little.
I will say, though,
burnouts.
in regards to, I mean, I'm not an expert completely with the law, but I'm pretty sure reckless driving is more than just a ticket. You know, you could get actual jail time for
Lose
that.
your license, I think.
Yeah. So I would think some of these acts are actually falling along reckless driving. So getting a ticket is getting, I don't know, it's easy.
Yeah.
Like it's easy for the punishment, you know. I think it should be bigger punishment.
It definitely has to get bigger, or it's just going to be considered a slap on the wrist. And it may not seem like a huge deal to everybody right now, but I swear if someone gets hurt, the entire community is going to be up in arms, and that includes the people who are sticking up for them right now. Nothing's ever a big deal until something big happens with it, right?
Yeah.
So
maybe that's just the old people.
It could be the old people,
it's the old mom and me.
But also, I think it's just
common sense.
It's common sense, and it's common courtesy that you have to. What I was just talking to Chief Salrin. Look out for your neighbor. Care about your neighbor. Think about what you're doing in our community, and give a damn.
Let's make Quincy a high trust society again.
Right. Yes.
Because I think we've lost it a little bit.
Yeah, just have some respect. And even though it's not your property doesn't mean that someone doesn't own it. And even though it doesn't bother you, maybe it's bothering someone else.
Okay, so something that's been bothering me that I have to bring up.
Let's switch lanes.
So obviously we're always in political warfare. I keep thinking, we're amping up for a civil war. I really do think the different parties are weaponizing us against each other
100%.
For this
United
blowout.
we stand, divided we fall.
Eventually it's going to be a blowout or, an actual war. But in regards to that, when the media is making articles and they're writing them themselves as opposed to something coming down from, because we get a lot of articles from Illinois Capital that we publish because we're in Illinois.
Those will say sponsored, right?
No, not those ones.
No? Okay.
But like if they're, like for the example, the Miller Report is a highly opinionated report.
Sure.
We label everything opinion when it is opinionated. However, there are some times where a story will come out and the writer is kind of putting their opinion in there, and it isn't something that maybe should be done in the news, I agree, but it's just always done, like it reflects. When an author is writing something, especially something that they're passionate about, I think
the tone shines through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think a great, somebody that can stay completely even keel, it's amazing in these times because it's almost impossible to do.
I was going to say that's very hard. Yeah.
But in regards to Muddy River News being a whole, yes, we're a whole, and we all get along here.
100%.
but we don't share the same opinions.
Not all of us.
So like I think,
and not all the time.
yeah, like
We can agree 99% of the time. There's always going to be that 1% that I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah.
Guess what? We still get along.
exactly. That's the point I think I'm trying to make, is saying like we are a collective group of opinions and views, and we all don't see things one way. We definitely disagree around here, but we get along and we stand by each other, and we respect each other. And that's one thing that, you know, I see happening anytime any article comes out of any political divide, is just the loss of respect, and we're falling right into the play of, you know, a potential divide civil war. I don't understand why people don't see that in front of them too.
I think that in today's day and age, it's really hard to find someone who doesn't share their opinion. And we can thank social media, we can thank legacy media, we can thank whoever we want for giving everyone the floor, giving everyone an opportunity to share their opinion. People always take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they always should, but we do.
Yeah.
Everyone else here at Muddy River News has the right to share their opinion. Every one of you who watches and reads, you have the right to share your opinion. We encourage it. We think that it's necessary to have different viewpoints to balance one another out. It's also very important to be respectful.
Yes, that's the biggest thing, is the respect or the lack thereof. Like, it's getting, I know we always say this, like it's getting out of hand. But it's getting out of hand if we can't have a common debate too. That's the other thing. Like, go ahead and debate in the comments.
Yeah.
We love it. We love to see.
Luke says he's a master debater.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's right. I'm pretty good too, but I'm kidding.
Mike is a really good debater. Trust me. I can't win a single argument with him, but he lets me sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about, when debating, it is about presenting the facts and not your opinion. And I think a lot of people have a problem in doing that debate by not presenting their opinion. So, you know, it goes the same, like I said, for authors, writers, when they're doing articles, especially things that they're passionate about, to not reflect your opinion, you have to be a master debater to do that.
Yeah, and it's human to want to share your opinion or your thoughts or your feelings. And whether you intend to do it, I do it all the time, and nobody really has to care what I think, but I really enjoy sharing my opinion. I also really enjoy listening to other opinions. Not always, but a lot of times I try to expand my understanding on different topics, because I know that I don't know it all most of the time, some of the time, but I enjoy learning from people who know a lot about the topic. The only time I struggle with it is if you don't know a lot about the topic, but you're in this camp, so you're just glomming onto this topic because it fits the rest of what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, I don't really trust your expertise on it, and I know that you're commenting this way because you lean this way on other items. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing that lacks too in our comments, besides just respect, but the ability or desire to want to learn. That it doesn't exist anymore. Like, we know what we know, and we are right, and
you're an idiot.
And you're an idiot, and you have a low IQ.
Yeah. And there are some of those out there. It's not us.
No.
You know, just because we have a table to sit at that has microphones
that don't really work.
They're just a prop anyway. But and Muddy River News, of course, we do get the privilege of sitting down and talking about these topics. And I think, of course, we have our opinion, but the greater, I don't want to say good, but the greater endeavor is to try to relay that we all have differing opinions.
Yes.
We're lucky to get to share ours, but you're encouraged to do the same thing as long as it's respectful as well. I don't think we've ever been too disrespectful towards people.
I don't know. I haven't gone. I
try not to. If I have, you can call me out. But
same. My thing is like the name calling. It's so crazy how.
But it's not necessarily just the name calling. It's the name calling regardless of what you say. It's I'm not even going to let you say your piece. I already don't like what you're about to say. And I'm going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Those people drive me insane.
Yeah.
And they have to be just like waiting. Like I just picture them like
spend more
waiting.
time with your family than on Facebook. That's what I really want to say is how that's what I'm going to end on this.
Yeah.
Spend more time with your family, not
or
so much
visit
on
local
Facebook.
businesses and, support their endeavors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Regardless of opinion.
Regardless of opinion. Yeah. And stay in your lane if you can't be nice.
Yeah, and don't speed.
And don't burn out. Unless you're us. No, I'm kidding. We're not burnouts.
And then...
We're not burnouts. We just, play some on TV. Okay.
Yeah.
On that note, I think that does it for today's
Coffee Talk.
We'll catch you next time.